Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. I got this 1992 Chevy half-ton pickup. I've been doing some work to it. It's got less than 131,000 original miles on it. And here lately, I let the fuel level drop down to like 1/8 of a tank. And I think there's possibly some contamination or some old fuel in the bottom of the tank, and it sucked it up. And ever since then, it's had a real bad hesitation of you start to leave a stoplight or something and it'll go for a fraction of a second, and then it kind of like sputters, and then it takes off. So we're going to try and address that issue today. I've done this in the past and had really good luck. I'm going to put some new injectors in it and change the fuel filter and see if we can't get this thing running like a top like it used to and like it should. All right, under the hood, we've got this 5.7 liter. We've done some work to it. It's got new plugs, wires, alternator, battery, radiator, new hoses, belts, all that good stuff. We've changed all the fluids on it. But I think our issue now, is this TBI module. I think the injectors are plugged. It's kind of common anyway. But I let the fuel level get down, and I think it sucked up some bad gas. So we're going to get started on it. First thing we need to do is remove the air filter housing, and we'll get down to that TBI so we can start to remove it in order to rebuild it. I also got to disconnect the battery. So let's get started. Okay, I lied. I haven't disconnected the battery yet, as you can see by the dome light here, the engine light. But I'm looking at this throttle body. I've taken these off before. I've completely rebuilt them. I really don't think we need to take the entire unit off. I do have the kits to do it. I did buy a spacer to put down under here to give it a little more torque. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I'm thinking about it, but I'm just not sure yet. Not real sure I want to put that spacer in there. I do also have a spacer for here, and I have two brand new injectors to put up here. So I'm just trying to debate. Oh, and I have a new spring for the fuel pressure, to kind of up the fuel pressure a little bit. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm debating on this. I don't have to. I can replace the injectors right here. So I'm not sure I want to take all this off to do that. Let me think about this. Okay, I'm kind of changing my plan a little bit. I was going to pull off the entire TBI, but I don't think I need to. So I undid the 3 T25 Torx screws that hold this unit on. It's a 15 millimeter to undo the flare nut and a 19 millimeter to undo this adapter. And then this whole unit will come off. And I really don't think I need to undo the bottom unit. There's not much in there that needs to be done. Everything is pretty much done right here. So I'm going to pull that off and we'll see how it goes. Okay. I forgot about the return side. And I think I said 15 millimeter before. These are actually 16 millimeter on the flare nut, 19 millimeter on the adapter. Make sure you put the 19 millimeter on there when you loosen the 16 millimeter, because you don't want to twist or kink this line here. So it does take both wrenches to do it properly. So you also have to undo this line here to get that injector unit off the top of the TBI. So let's continue. Okay, people of the interwebby, please remember that I am not an expert. I've done this before. I'm an old fart. I do this my way. It's my vehicle. Nobody's paying me to do this. So if I do it wrong, if I mess it up and I have to do it again, it'd just be a good learning experience for me. But I'm getting ready to take this apart. Okay, now you undo these screws here. It's a T20. That keeps these injectors, the actual injectors, in place. I'm also going to take this apart because I have a new one. I'm not going to skip that step since I already have the part. And I did buy a increased pressure spring. It takes the factory pressure from 11 pounds per square inch up to 14 pounds per square inch. So I'm going to get all this done, get this started, and I'll keep you all updated as I go. Okay, these things have been in here since day one. I'm just going to show you what I did, because they're in there really, really tight, and they are difficult to get out. And there's some little parts you got to keep track of. But what I did is I put my pair of pliers right here. I took my screwdriver, I put it under this little ledge right here, and popped it straight out. Don't twist it, don't turn it. They do come straight out. Now you also want to pay attention to which parts come out if you've never done this before, and which order they are in, so that you can put the new parts in the proper order. All right. How hard can this be, right? What could possibly go wrong? All right, here's where I'm at now. This was the last one I pulled out. Now you also want to keep in mind there's little tiny, I'm not sure what they are, there's little tiny things right here that go on these little caps here when you put these back together. My new kit does have 2 new ones there. The last time I did one of these, I left those off just to see what it would do. I think they're just a filter screen, and it did absolutely nothing. But since it is a filter type thing, a screen, really good idea on these older vehicles to put those back in, I'm sure. Okay, this step is a pain in the butt, but what I did is I held it really close, and then I put this clamp on there to hold it in place while I got the screws started. I had messed one of these up once before because I pinched that little orange diaphragm gasket. So before I tighten up any screws all the way, I'm trying to make sure that that gasket looks like it's as flat as can be. And yes, it does, except I can see my alignment might be a little bit off over here on this post. So I'm going to monkey around with it a little bit before I tighten it up. Also, I'll take the clamp off. There is a lead slug in the bottom of this that you can pull out if you want, and it allows you to adjust the pressure a little bit via that mechanism right there. I've done it before. I never really noticed much of a gain, so I'm not going to worry about it this time because I have a different spring in there. I have a different spring in there anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay, y'all. And yes, I'm saying y'all because I am here in Texas. My phone overheated because of the Texas heat. I guess I left it out in the sun. I wasn't able to finish everything on video. I did get too hot, so I went ahead and just put it all back together. But there's everything back together. And we took it for a test drive. It starts better, it runs better. I don't know if it'll get any better fuel mileage, but I'll show you how it starts now. Just like that. This has been sitting for about 3 hours now. It's hot in here, but fires right up and runs better. Doesn't have the hesitation, so it worked. I only put one of the spacers in. I put the spacer in the tripod, pod for the injectors themselves, and I did not put this throttle body spacer in. I don't know if I will or not. I probably will just to try it out, but it is 98 degrees with a feels like of 107. I'm an old fat man, and I just don't want to work on this anymore. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully some of what I pointed out will be helpful to somebody. Keep in mind, I am not a professional. I'm just an old part with some tools, and everything I do seems to go together for the most part. And I'm going to start doing some more videos just to keep you guys updated. Anyway, y'all have a great day. It's Saturday. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you on the next one.